Hello there! Let's review Head Hog Power. New string from Head with a silvery blue color. I personally like the color a lot. Reminds me a little bit of Ice Blue Alu Power string from Loxlan. It is somewhere in between Hawk Touch and Hawk string. I have tried Hawk Touch, haven't tried Hawk, but just looking at the numbers, I would say it should be somewhere in between. It is relatively soft, comfortable string compared to Alu Power, and maybe the main target for Head is towards Alu Power users. Comparing those two, because obviously we have to compare most similar strings to each other, I would say Hawk Power has much better tension stability. What I like the most about Hawk Power is that for its comfort, it's also very control oriented. And we can see the numbers. The energy return is actually very low at 82, and for me it means that I shouldn't be expecting this trampoline effect where the ball leaves the string quite fast. Same with the stiffness. If the stiffness is higher, it kind of takes out the energy potential from the upcoming ball, and the ball kind of dies on the string if the stiffness is high. Here the stiffness is relatively low, which means the string bed should be more forgiving, more responsive, but the energy return is also low, so to give you best control and a bit longer dwell time. That's how I see things, and that's my experience. I usually stick to strings that are around 84 in energy return. Lower, it's also okay. But stiffness plays a huge part in it. It's a combination of those two. For example, I also play a lot with Tecnifibre Razor Code, which is much stiffer, at least in numbers, but the energy return is also much higher. I don't know, around 90, 88 maybe. So this in theory gives a more responsive feel, and indeed I would say yes, Razor Code gives much more responsive ball, but the stiffness gives you the control that you need and the feel. So you know, there are two main ways how to provide control and how to provide power and feel. So it's always the combination of those two for me. Because the stiffness of the string is lower, I have a much more forgiving string bed, which is also a good thing. We mentioned spin potential, great. I tried the string in several different rackets, Tecnifibre Tfight 305, Head Gravity Pro, and something else that I don't remember now. And actually both of those rackets are very tricky when it comes to string combination, especially Gravity Pro, I would say, because the surface of the string bed is very big. You have very big spin window, and the response of the string bed is a bit bigger than from 95, 98 square inches racket. Of course, it depends on many different factors. At the same time, Gravity Pro is very low powered in the design. So you have this very interesting mix. Gravity Pro can react differently to different strings, and Hedgehog Power unlocks the Gravity Pro in a very positive way, but also I feel like on slices the ball kinda floats. Maybe I strung it too low, but I see Gravity Pro as an alternative to the Prestige racket. So I'm kind of forced to use lower tension, otherwise the string bed will be too dead. In that particular racket, I would say Hawk Power was a bit too lively, and if I increase the tension, the racket would be too control oriented and too dead. So I think for Gravity I would still use Lynx Tour. And comparing Lynx Tour to Hawk Power, I would say I still experience more spin potential with Lynx Tour. I usually like six-sided strings quite a lot, because even though they are shaped, they kind of feel and react as a round string. They still have quite nice snapback. The launch angle isn't as jumpy and random as with, let's say, 4, maybe 5-sided strings. So Lynx Tour is a great, let's say, next string neighbor of a round family of strings. It gives you this little boost on those fast, snappy movements, and it still performs very consistent on those longer shots. So you kind of have a combination of both worlds, shapes and round strings. On the other hand, because this is Hawk Power review, I would say Hawk Power is much more forgiving and provides much more comfort than the Lynx Tour. Also, in some rackets, Lynx Tour kind of lost the stability, lost the tension, and started to react a bit more randomly. And Hawk Power, I can play with it for much longer, maybe because the string bed is round, so the jumps are not as dramatic in response, but I think it's also associated with the energy return. I can play longer with strings that have lower energy return, because they are designed to play more as a control-oriented option, in my opinion. In Tfight 305, I would say it played better, so maybe Hawk Power is better for those smaller head sizes. I especially enjoyed the string when it dropped in tension. Like every string kind of have this breaking period, and with some strings I experienced pure magic when the tension dropped naturally, because every time I try to recreate this and let's say string next time a bit lower, then I don't have the same control. So this is interesting. I recently tested Speed Pro rackets. All of them were with Lynx Tour, 2 with older setups and 1 with fresh setup that is lower in tension, that was lowered in tension, and I had more control with the older strings that were initially strung a bit higher, maybe 1 kilo more. So this is also interesting. The price point is a bit painful, I would say. For this price, I would still pick Lynx Tour and maybe Hawk Touch, because Lynx Tour is an obvious choice for its overall playability. From Hawk Touch I get even longer dwell time, even more comfort, even more touch. Maybe it can perform a bit too mushy in some strings, and then I think Hawk Power is your next closest choice, because Hawk Power is still very comfortable, still has a lot of dwell time, but in feel it kinda plays like a stiffer string, but also you have the forgiveness of the softer string. So that's a great option from Head. I think their catalog is now a bit more complete. I would appreciate one more shaped string, maybe a kinda hybrid of Hawk Power and Lynx Tour. Let's say a Lynx Tour with a slightly lower stiffness and lower energy return. That could be interesting. That's it for this review. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And oh yeah, of course, compared to Alu Power. So tension stability obviously is much better with Hawk Power. The feel of the string bed I would say is a bit better with Alu Power. It's more snappy and gives you a bit more hotter response, but still under very control oriented package. And on the other hand, Hawk Power is just a smarter choice, I think, because gives you everything very similar to Alu Power, but for a longer period of time. If I had to choose between Head Hawk Power and Alu Power from Loxolon, I would pick Head Hawk Power. First, because I really like the color, and second, because Alu Power is kinda a one-trick pony, where it plays very well when fresh, it is very pricey, and I think it plays the best if you're an attacker willing to bend the string. And Head Hawk Power kinda plays better on those slower head speeds. So this is making the string a bit more accessible to a larger group of people, and it's easier to bend the string, so it's easier to create spin with lower racket head speeds. That's my take on it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you can, and let me know which string I should review next. And subscribe if you can. I don't know if I already mentioned it. See you soon.